everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So today's episode comes to you courtesy of my incredible patrons. Once a month they vote on what commander they want to see in an upcoming episode, and the commander that gets most votes wins. And this month's commander is Narci, Fable Singer, a very exciting Abzan commander, a 3/3 human bard for 4 mana that has lifelink and says, whenever you sacrifice an enchantment, draw a card. On top of that, whenever the final ability of a saga you control resolves, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life for X that saga's mana value. Now, this is a commander that definitely, well, almost always is built around sagas, which is a fun strategy, but not the direction that I'm taking it, because I think we can take it further with a different strategy, because this commander is basically a reverse enchantress in a way. Like, hey, instead of it when you get the enchantments in play, or whenever you cast them, drawing a card, no. Whenever you sacrificing them, drawing a card. That is going to be what we are going to be doing. We're going to be getting enchantments out here, there, and everywhere, sacrificing them for a ton of value, drawing an absurd amount of cards with this and other enchantress effects, getting other constellation effects too, and then doing it all over again by getting them all back into play and sacrificing them again and getting so much absurd value. Our opponent's heads will spin. If you are interested in this deck, make sure you check out that deck list link in the description below. With all that said, let's jump into this budget-friendly build on Narci. And first up, to illustrate this point, let's talk about some amazing cantrips, which normally aren't cantrips. They normally don't see like any play. I think Briar Shield sees play in like 3 decks in Commander. Anyways, enchant creature, it's an aura, pretty single green mana. Give that creature +1/+1. When you sacrifice it, the enchant creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Now, with this, you can throw it on your commander or throw it on any creature on the battlefield. You can just make, a deal with someone like, you know what? I'll pump your creature temporarily, okay? Cool, good for you, all right? Let's make a deal. In all the way, you're just going to be sacrificing this to be drawing a card again, like a cantrip. But of course, we've got other, values, other enchantress triggers that we'll talk about here in a little bit for playing the enchantment, sacrificing, etc., etc. Next up, Capuchin Standard. We can draw more cards with this. Enchant creature for a single white mana, +1/+1, pay 2, sacrifice, draw a card. So going with this commander, it's basically draw 2 in total. But of course, we've got other triggers to consider too. Curse of Silence, mean but fun. Or a curse that we put on another player for a single white mana. Enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name. Enchanted player casts cost 2 more to cast. So, here's an easy one. Their commander. Yeah, they're going to be casting their commander at some point, so do that. On top of that, when they do cast that spell, you can sacrifice this if you do draw a card. So yeah, basically a double cantrip for us, on top of it being fully detriment to an opponent. Quest for the Necropolis. This one is enchant for a single black mana, landfall. Land enters battlefield, get a quest counter on it by paying 6 mana in total, or 1 less for each quest counter on it. You sacrifice it, and all of a sudden, you're going to be getting a creature card from any graveyard in the battlefield under your control. So basically, a mass reanimation of just a giant creature. Just like, oh yeah, 1 mana, get that giant creature out. Thank you very much. Seal of Strength, enchantment for a single green mana. Sacrifice it. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Very simple, very effective. Can also just be a deterrent for your opponents, like attacking if you have Narci just ready to block. Like, oh yeah, it's just a 3/3. No, it's a 6/6. Sarah's Hymn. During your upkeep, get a reverse counter on it. You can sacrifice it for up to X damage total to any number of creatures and players. X number of reverse counters on it. Yeah, it's a nice little prevention when you have it, but other than that, it's just like, oh yeah, 1 mana cantrip, sacrifice, cool. Same thing with War Dance. During upkeep, get a verse counter on it, sacrifice it. Target creature gets +X/+X until after X number of verse counters on it. Yeah, just sacrifice it when you need to, when you can get it back. Just sacrifice it for that value. And yeah, a little pump effect, that's nice. Next up, tactic number 2. Let's talk about some ways to get all of our enchantments back with some mass recursion spells like Resurgent Belief. Suspend 2 for 1 and a white. Bring back all enchantment cards in your graveyard to the battlefield. So again, those enchantments we just talked about, plus obviously many more we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Sacrifice them, get them all back into play, sacrifice them again. So much value to be had. And also with more ways to do it. Base reward, a great one as well. Instant for 4 mana in white. Return to the battlefield all permanent cards in your graveyard that are put there from the battlefield this turn. So yes, again, sacrifice shenanigans we shall have. Open the Vault, a great one too. Sorcerer is 6 mana in total. Control artifact and enchantment cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under our own control. So again, our opponents might get some value out of this, but we're going to be getting the most value, absurd value out of this. Brilliant Restoration at 7 mana, a sorcery. All artifact enchantment cards from your graveyard specifically. No opponent value here. Back to the battlefield. Redress Fate. This one can be 8 mana. We have plenty of ways to ramp. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. That being said, return all artifact enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Miracle for just 4 mana, though. So if we hit this off the top with a card draw, the first one, well, we get to cast it for just 4 mana. In Triumphant Reckoning, this one's got to return all artifact enchantment, planeswalker cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Again, we've got plenty of effective ways to ramp. Plenty of effective ways to fix mana, and plenty of ways to take advantage of these mass recursion spells. But of course, we also have one that might not bring him back to our battlefield, but back to our hand. Crystal Chimes, pay 3 for this once an artifact, pay 3, tap, sacrifice, bring back all enchanted cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, this artifact can give us a ton of value whenever we need to, bring them back to our hand. And of course, it also lets us take advantage of any Enchantress type cast triggers too, so do keep that in mind. Next up, though, let's move forward a bit and talk about how we're going to win with this deck. First up, Bill Merc Leech is a good way to represent this. It has Eerie whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, ignore that part, who cares? Each opponent loses 1 life. Yeah, rooms are cool, but enchantments just coming into play, much cooler. So yeah, being able to go, all right, I have all these enchantments that I just played, all these cheap little enchantments. I drain you. Also, I sacrifice them. Oh, and I bring them back and they drain you again. And by the way, I'm going to keep doing this again and again and again. Wicked Visitor. Enchantment you control is spent a grave from the battlefield. Each opponent is drained 1. Very similar to Grim Guardian, but the opposite. Whenever it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under control, each opponent loses 1 life. Keep in mind, this is an enchantment as well. Knight of Doves. Enchantment you control is spent a grave from the battlefield. You make a 1/1 bird. So yeah, make a massive evasive army. What's not to love about that? Victor's here to help us out as well. Whenever enchantment you control enters, and then the room thing, we can ignore that. Surveil 2, it's the first time. So again, some nice card selection there. Second time, each opponent discards a card. Cool. Just remove your opponent's hands. Third time, put a creature card from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control. It's very easy for us to meet that requirement to go 1, 2, 3. So much value to be had. Remove your opponent's hands and remove them from the game. A Johnny's Chosen. Enchantments entering the battlefield. Make 2/2 cats. Again, go super wide, super fast. Archon of Sun's Grace. Again, enchantment you control enters the battlefield. You control. You make a 2/2 Pegasus with flying. Oh, and by the way, your Pegasus creatures have a lifelink. Lovely. So a lot of life to gain. A lot of evasive creatures, too. Speaking of which, Ghostly Dancers. Gross. Whenever it enters, turn enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. So, yeah, again, we can recurse them. That's lovely. On top of that, though, Eerie, enchantment you control enters, and the room thing, ignore. Create a 3/1 white sphere creature with flying. So again, make a just disgusting evasive army, but even more disgusting than that. Sigil the Empty Throne. Whenever you're casting an enchantment spell, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Again, we've got a lot of low the ground, like just 1 mana enchantment. It's like, oh yeah, 1 mana, get my enchantment, sacrifice, draw a card. Oh, and by the way, I made a 4/4 angel. Thank you. Or, if we want to get really disgusting, Thought Render Lamia. Yeah, this is just a game-ending card where opponents have no chance against it. Whenever it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under control, each opponent discards a card. Yeah, this is like Victor, but it triggers every single time. So all of a sudden we're like, oh, enchantment, 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 enchantment. Oh, all your hands are gone? You lose. You're just top decking at this point. You're just going to lose. By the way, I've got recursion spells to bring all my enchantments back again. You're never going to have a hand. Have fun. Bye-bye. Speaking of fun, though, let's talk about some ways to gain some card advantage. First up, Slumbering Keep Guard. I'm so sleepy. Whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1, and you can also pump it a ton, which is quite nice, but more importantly, again, basically some great card selection that is on repeat. Vessel of Nascency. This is a 1-mana enchantment that we can pay 2 to sacrifice. Reveal the top 4 cards of our library. We get an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker among them into our hand. The rest into our graveyard. Nice. Again, filling our graveyard is not a bad thing. Again, with those mass recursion spells, those are fantastic. That being said, again, sacrificing this will give us an extra card draw. Nessian Wanderer. Constellation. I love Constellation and Eerie. It's so good with this kind of a commander. Whenever enchantment enters battlefield under control, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Get a land from among those into your hand. The rest of your library, random order. Again, basically, every single time an enchantment comes into play, just go get something off the top. Absolutely amazing. Speaking of which, Rite of Harmony. My goodness, this is so good in this deck. Instant for 2 mana in Selesnya. Creature enchantment enters battlefield under control. This turn, draw a card, and you can flash it back. yeah, this can work really well with a mass recursion spell, or again with any of those ways to just say, hey, enchantment, make a creature, enchantment, make a creature. Yeah, you double up them, you make both. It's not counting, it doesn't say non-token creature, so it counts all creatures. Enchantress Presence, of course, an OG great card. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. Mace Enchantress, exact same thing, but on a creature. And Satyr Enchanter, exact same thing, but also on a creature. So again, being able to get value out of enchantments in so many different ways. Ashiok's Reaper, kind of like another version of our commander as well. Enchantment you control is put a grid from the battlefield, draw a card. Yeah, we're going to be drawing a lot with that. And then finally, Neva, Stalked by Nightmares, a 2/2 Human Noble with Menace. Enters the battlefield, return target creature enchantment card from your grave to your hand. So again, get one back. On top of that, whatever enchantment you control is put a grid from the battlefield, put a counter on it, then scry one. So this can be a very big threat, and also, again, a lot of great card selection to be had with it. Continuing on, Claws of Gix, an artifact for 0. By paying 1, we sacrifice a permanent and we gain 1 life. It might not seem like much, but it is an amazing card. There are certain enchantments that we have that maybe don't have ways to sacrifice themselves just normally, or they cost a little bit more. This is just a way to go, oh yeah, I just want to sacrifice that, draw a card, get in my graveyard, master current. Thank you very much. Nyxborn Behemoth, my goodness. A 10/10 enchantment creature beast for 12 mana, but we're never going to pay that. Costs X less to cast, works a total mana value of non-creature enchantment you control, so that can be just reduced down to just 2 mana in total. Trampling creature that we can pay 2 mana. Sacrifice another enchantment to give it indestructible until end of turn. So again, the downside of sacrificing is actually an upside for us, and this is a behemoth of a creature. Pitiless Carnage, though, a really fun card for us. We can plot this if we need to. That being said, Sorcery for 4 mana. Sacrifice any number of permanents you control, then draw that many cards. Again, sacrificing all of those enchantments is actually a good thing for us. So sacrifice them, maybe even some creature tokens that we made with those enchantments at some point too. Draw an absurd amount of cards, get so much value from this and our commander. Have fun. Next up, ways to protect our game plan, ways to protect our commander. We can even do it with a little enchantment creature, Nymph, with Allstate of Life's Bounty, a 1/1 for a single white mana lifelink. Pay 1, sacrifice it. Target creature or enchantment you control gains protection with the color of your choice until end of turn. A great way to protect something that we need to protect. Carapace, enchant creature for a single green mana, +0/+2. We can sacrifice it for free, and it's going to regenerate that enchanted creature. So again, we actually just put this on our commander and say, yeah, sure, try to destroy my commander. It's going to come back and just, well, not come back. It's going to stay. It's regenerated. Thrall Retainer, basically exact same thing. +1/+1 to the creature. Sacrifice this to regenerate the enchanted creature. Crown of Awe. Oh, I'm in awe. Enchanted creature has protection from black and red. By sacrificing it, gives all creatures that share creature type with it protection from black and red until end of turn. Yeah, just protect your commander with something like this. Can be great. And actually get through on some opponents with some of those creatures that can get quite beefy too. No rest for the wicked, though. Sacrifice this to bring back all creature cards that are put in your grave from play this turn. So any of those enchantment creatures that we might be sacrificing or our commander gets dealt with, bring them back when you need to, or just play this, sacrifice it, get value. There you go. But of course, our opponents aren't even safe from removal with our enchantments that we want to sacrifice. Sinister Concoction's a great one. Enchant for a single black mana. Pay a single black mana. Pay 1 life. Put the top card of your graveyard in your library. Cool. And then discard a card. And then all of a sudden sacrifice it. Destroy target creature. I think I said that back. Top card of your graveyard in your library. Top card of your library graveyard. There we go. Soul Snare. Pay 1 to sacrifice this one, though. Exile target creature attacking your planeswalker you control. It can be a good attack deterrent, but also just a way to say, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead and attack me. It's fine. Whatever, I'll get rid of any creatures and I'll draw a card. Thank you. Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, again, basically, hey, opponents, be nice to me or I'm going to destroy your things. I'm just going to keep this in play. Enchant for 2 mana, sacrifice or target artifact or enchantment. Seal Primordium does the exact same thing. Literally the exact same thing, but in green. Seal of Doom, enchantment that we stick in play and we say, again, hey, opponents, be nice to me. Sacrifice to destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. Buried in the Garden is ramp for us, as well as removal. Enchant a land for 4 mana in Selesnya, enters the battlefield, get rid of a non-land permanent we don't control, exile until this leaves the battlefield, and gives us 1 extra mana of any color when that land is tapped. Doom Foretold! Beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. If they can't, they discard a card, lose 2 life, you draw a card, you gain 2 life, you create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance, then you sacrifice this. Again, a downside for our opponents, an upside for us. Sacrificing things is actually good. Doom Wake Giant. Absolutely disgusting. Whenever this or another enchantment you control enters, creatures supposed to control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Absolutely absurd way to just decimate our opponent's armies again and again and again. Yeah, again, just picture this plus enchantments in our graveyard plus mass recursion equals no fun for our opponents. Martyr's Bond, they're never going to have any enchantments in play, and creatures as well when we have enchantment creatures. Again, we put this out, and all of a sudden, we say, hey, whenever it or another non-land permanent you control is put in a grave from the battlefield, each one sacrifices a permanent that shares a card type with it. So again, they're going to keep nothing in play. And finally, well, let's talk about some ways to get that mana that we talked about earlier. See, foreshadowing. Anyways, Font of Fertility, a great low-to-the-ground enchantment. Pay 2, sacrifice it, go get a basic land into play, tapped. Unbridled Growth, this is going to be a great way to fix our mana, enchant one of our lands, taps for any color, but then we can sacrifice to draw a card. So again, it's basically a double cantrip for us with this commander. Wild Growth, very simple, very effective. Put it on one land, it taps for an extra green mana. Fertile Ground, 2 mana. It's going to have any of our lands tap for 1 extra mana. Again, fixing and ramping. Low the ground enchantment. What's not to love about that? Carney Heart Expedition. Hey, you get some lands into play, and all of a sudden, we get quest counters on this. Remove 3 of them, sacrifice this, and then go get 2 basics into play tap. Basically, a lower to the ground version of Explosive Vegetation plus sacrifice. What's not to love? Starfield Mystic. Our enchantments are going to cost 1 less to cast, so that can be a huge savings throughout the game. On top of that, enchantments from the graveyard, which is going to happen a lot. You get counters on this. This can be the biggest threat on the board in no time. Wolfwillow Haven, enchant any of our lands, taps for an extra green mana. We can also pay 5 to sacrifice and make a 2/2, and of course, draw that card. Hourglass of the Lost, tap for a white, get a time counter on it, tap, remove X time counters from it, exile it, bring back every non-land permanent card with mana value extra grave of the battlefield, activate owns a sorcery. Again, this can just be a great way to get our low-to-the-ground enchantments back into play and get so much value. Omen of the Hunt, we flash this in, we get any basic from our library into play tapped, and we can pay 3 to sacrifice to scry 2. So again, ramp and card selection on top of that card advantage thanks to our commander. What's not to love? Overgrowth, enchant a land, it taps for 2 extra green. Weirding Wood, we enchant a land, taps for 2 mana of any one color, and then also we get to investigate, so a little clue right there for some card draw when we need it. Dawn's Reflection, enchanted land, taps for 2 additional colors, so that's quite nice. Yeah, it's a lot of extra mana for us in any combination of colors, so great fixing there too. And finally, Market Festival does the exact same thing. And with that, this episode is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this episode. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.